Animals living and surviving. Different kinds of animals live in different places and environment. By environment, we mean the surroundings, including living and non living things, where an animal or plant lives. And adaptation is a characteristic of a living thing that helps to survive in its environment. Adaptation is a key to survival. Organisms which are best adjusted to their environment are the most successful in surviving and reproducing. Animals which do not properly adapt themselves to their surroundings, they either move to other places or they die. For example, dinosaurs existed millions of years ago but died due to sudden climatic changes. Different kinds of adaptations. Adaptations can be broadly classified into two types: structural, behavioral. Structural adaptations according to habitat. Different animals have different body features to adjust better in their environment. This is known as structural adaptation. Let us see few examples. Aquatic animals. Fishes have gills instead of lungs for breathing. The gills help them to utilize the dissolved oxygen in the water. It helps them to breathe underwater. Paddle-like flipper of a turtle or webbed toes of a duck help them to push water back and swim. Penguins are flightless birds which got adapted to their environment. Penguins are found in the harsh cold climate of Antarctica. Penguins have blubber, fat, which helps them to stay warm. The penguins huddle together in groups to keep themselves warm. They depend on sea animals for their food. They have webbed feet and a streamlined body which helps them to swim and catch their prey. They have flippers instead of wings which help them to swim in the cold sea. Land animals. Camels are found in hot deserts. They have many unique features which help them to live in this habitat. They have padded feet which allows them to walk easily on the sand. They have a large hump on their back that has an ability to store water for many days. They can live without food and water for many days. They have two rows of eyelashes to keep the sand out of their eyes. The polar bear lives in a very cold climate. It has thick layers of fat and fur which helps it to stay warm. The thick layer of fat present underneath the skin is called blubber. The white fur also helps it to blend with its surroundings. Arboreal animals. Animals which spend most of their time on trees are arboreal animals. Many animals are adapted to living on the trees. For example, monkeys have tails which they use for climbing and balancing. It is used as a limb. The red-eyed frog has sticky pads under its feet which helps it in climbing trees. Amphibians. Animals which can live both on land and in water are called amphibians. For example, frog, toad, salamanders, etc. are amphibians. When on land, amphibians breathe through their lungs. In water, they breathe through their skin. Their webbed feet help them to swim. Aerial animals. Animals that can fly and spend a lot of their time in the air are called aerial animals. Their body structure is very different from all other animals. They have light and hollow bones which make their body light. Their limbs are modified as wings to help them fly. Their tails help them change the direction while flying. The body of the birds is such that it is able to cut through the air easily. Pigeon, sparrow, eagle, vulture are the examples of aerial animals. According to feeding habit, crane is a bird which eats fish. This bird has long pointed beak which helps it to catch fishes from the shallow water. It has special feet which allows it to take firm gripping even in muddy water. On the other hand, a woodpecker has a very strong beak which allows it to drill a trunk. It also has a stiff tail and two toes pointing backwards which help it to climb trees. Similarly, the birds which feed on nectar have long pointed beak. Herbivorous animals. They have sharp front teeth to bite the plants easily and strong flat molars to chew and grind the food well. Some herbivorous animals have a special stomach to digest food. Such animals are called ruminant animals. These animals do not completely chew the food they eat. They have to chew food twice to digest it. Some examples of ruminant animals are cow, buffalo, deer, etc. Carnivorous animals. The carnivores have sharp and pointed canines to rip and tear the flesh. These animals also need to chew the flesh. They also have some strong grinding molars at the back. Omnivores. They have very typical teeth to help them chew a variety of food. They often have long, sharp, pointed canines in front and flat teeth at the back. Parasites are those animals which depend on other living organisms for their food. Some common parasites are leeches, mosquitoes, etc. Leeches and mosquitoes suck blood from the bodies of their hosts. Some worms like tapeworms, roundworms, and hookworms live inside the host animal's body. Adaptation for protection. Camouflage. Some animals have a special adaptation to help them remain in disguise. Their enemies cannot see them even if they are very near. The adaptation that allows some animals to blend into their surroundings is called camouflage. See the picture shown. Note how the animals blend with the surroundings. Let us see some more examples. Chameleon is a reptile. It can change its color and camouflage to hide from predators and prey. If it is among green leaves, its body turns into green color. Similarly, grasshoppers have specific body color which helps them to merge with their habitat. Animals like leopard and tiger have spots and stripes on their bodies, respectively. This helps them to blend with their surrounding forest. The body covering of the Arctic hare, snowy owl, Arctic fox, and polar bear helps it to blend with the snow. Mimicry. Mimicry here does not mean making different sounds. In mimicry, some animals pretend to be another animal or something else which it is not. This technique is called mimicry. Let us see some examples. Walking stick insect mimics the stick. Stone flounder is a flat fish that is found on the ocean floors. This fish blends with the gravel or stones found at the bottom of the ocean. The scarlet king snake is a non-poisonous variety of snake. It resembles the poisonous coral snake. Thus, by doing mimicry, scarlet king snake is able to keep the predators away. The predators stay away from the snake thinking it is poisonous. The oak leaf butterfly resembles a dead leaf to disguise itself from hungry birds. The leaf-tailed gecko is a rare lizard. It matches the color of the branch it perches on. It escapes from eagles in this manner. Advantage of camouflaging and mimicry. The animal can protect itself from the predators by blending with its surroundings. Camouflage and mimicry are also used by some predators as a tool for hunting. The animal can hide to catch its prey. Behavioral adaptations. Some animals show changes in their behavior when they are in danger. For example, puffer fish inflate themselves when threatened by predators, and opossums play possum by pretending to be dead when attacked, which makes the predator lose interest in them. This behavior change helps animals to survive in their environment. Animals like baboon, zebra, bison, and certain fishes prefer to live in groups for various reasons. Baboons form groups for protection against predators. Zebras move in large groups to confuse predators and make it harder for them to determine the number of zebras in the group. Some fishes move in large groups for protection and finding food. Baby bats cuddle together to stay warm. The group behavior provides protection and other benefits for these animals. Another type of behavioral adaptation is called migration. Some animals move from one place to another in search of food or favorable living or breeding conditions. This movement is called migration. Humpback whales show the longest migration amongst the mammals. They migrate from the cold polar regions where they stay toward the equator. Arctic terns are birds found near the Arctic Circle. These birds make the longest migration in the world. They fly from one pole to another and then fly back. Salmon fish shows a unique migration. It spends the majority of its life in salty water, sea and ocean. However, for breeding, it migrates to freshwater sources to lay eggs. Monarch butterflies cannot live in cold climatic conditions, so during winters they migrate to warmer areas. They return to their habitat once the winters pass away. Leatherback turtles show strong migratory behavior. They migrate for thousands of kilometers in the sea and ocean in search of food and breeding ground. When it gets cold, some animals prefer to hibernate rather than migrate. Hibernation is a behavioral adaptation in which the animals falls into a long deep sleep. During this sleep, their heart rate slows down and the temperature falls. In this way, they can survive on little energy. They come out of the deep sleep when the weather is favorable. Animals also prepare for hibernation. Some of them eat a large amount of food to store fats in their body. This fat helps them to stay warm during hibernation. Animals which hibernate are brown and black bears, deer mice, wood frog, squirrel, etc. There are some animals which go into partial hibernation. In this, the animal goes into a deep sleep but wakes up occasionally to look for food and water. This partial hibernation is called torpor. Animals which go into partial hibernation area are hummingbirds, prairie dogs, hamsters, etc. Let's sum up. Adaptations are the characteristics present in living organisms which allow it to live in its habitat. The features present in the body of an animal which helps it to survive in its habitat is known as structural adaptation. Fishes have gills instead of lungs for breathing. Camels have many unique features which help it to live in the desert, like padded feet, double layer of eyelashes, can stay without food and water for many days. The polar bear has a fat layer under the skin and thick fur to live in the cold climate. Penguins have blubber webbed feet and flippers. Herbivorous animals have sharp front teeth to bite the plants easily and strong, flat molars to chew and grind the food well. Some herbivorous animals have a special stomach to digest food and are called ruminant animals. The carnivores have sharp and pointed canines to rip and tear the flesh. The adaptation that allows some animals to blend into their surroundings is called camouflage. Mimicry is a technique in which an animal pretends to be something which it is not. Migration is the movement of animals from one place to another in search of food or favorable living or breeding conditions.